Hey there, it's Pandora. Today I decided to do something fun that I've seen a couple of other people doing that I haven't actually watched the video of. I'm redesigning Yandere simulator characters because the creator stinks and I would love to replace his work. Now, this is going to be a series. I currently have 5 episodes planned, including this one, and they will all be in batches of 3 characters. And as you can tell, that's more than just the rivals, even if you add Ayano and Taro, because I have a handful of extras I've thrown into my list of characters. But anyway, let's get into today's list. Today I will be redesigning Taro Yamada, Ayano Aishi, and Info Chan. In my head, I change the story a lot, so I may not get the chance to explain the drawing process, so this may end up being a I yap about my writing changes while you watch my drawing process if you want series. That's quite a mouthful. Anyway, let's get into our first character I'm designing, Taro Yamada. So my first change with Taro is I changed his last name to be Saitozaki because I didn't want his name to be the equivalent of John Doe anymore. And I thought it would be more interesting lore-wise to have him related in some way to the first rival Ayano's mom had to eliminate. Obviously not her son directly because, Another change I made was his body type. Since so many people fell for him, and this is my redesign, I decided to make him more of my type. So it makes more sense to why so many people fell for him. And not only physically, I changed his personality from being a plain sheet of cardboard that does literally nothing into a genuinely sweet and caring guy. He cannot walk by someone struggling and not jump in to help them to the best of his abilities. Sometimes this ends up making the person upset because from their perspective they can handle it on their own and they don't appreciate someone jumping in without asking. Most of the time people appreciate the help though. As you may notice, I changed the school they go to not have a uniform, entirely because I enjoy character design and I wanted to give every character unique clothes. I made his clothing style pretty simple, but I did do a little bit of layering. I did this because it didn't feel like he would be really super in touch with the world of fashion, and maybe spicing up his wardrobe could be one of the rivals' events that Ayana can sabotage. Oh, and also for the same reason as earlier, I gave him glasses. I just think glasses are attractive, you know? In the coloring stage, I gave him an actual favorite color, which is dark green. In the real game, his favorite color is black. That really just is the flavorless cherry on top of the bland character he already is. No disrespect if your favorite color is black, though. It's only boring when it comes to him because he literally has nothing else about him. I don't really have much else to say about him that doesn't connect to some of the rivals, so I'll say it when I get to them. This is my finished design of Taro Saitozaki, formerly named Taro Yamada. I think he's much cuter now, and even if it's just a little bit, he actually has a personality now, so that's definitely an upgrade if I do say so myself. Next up is Ayano. Sorry if my voice just shifted, it's been a long time since I did the rest of the voiceover. I actually had a whole design and story made for Ayano, which kept the Aishi condition, but then after trying to do the voiceover, I decided I actually don't like the Aishi condition storyline at all. I also got a YouTube short of a YouTuber called Alpaca Sir redesigning Ayano themselves, and they made her a really cutesy girl, so she really contrasted her yandere mode, and I thought that was a really good idea, so I wanted to take it, but I also wanted to make it my own so it's not straight up plagiarism. So I imagine my Ayano as like a really cutesy girl, but she doesn't have like a snap switch to yandere mode, quote unquote. She just like gets real mad and acts on her anger, I suppose, in a very unhealthy way. You may notice I made her outfit pretty similar to the original outfit in Yandere Simulator. That's because I thought it would be appropriate for her out of everyone to have an outfit similar to the original outfit. And also I just really liked it and I used to always draw my characters in this. The story I have in mind for her goes something like this. She goes to a school of some kind. I don't know if I want to make it actually high school or keep the cop-out story of it's a special school for graduated students who want to repeat their high school years. Because honestly, I don't know if I like that, but high school feels too young. But anyway, back to the story. She goes to the school and sees Taro helping someone in some way, I haven't decided how, and she falls for him immediately. She's like the original story, and she doesn't talk to him because she gets too nervous around him. So she just admires him from afar, maybe not quite stalking him because I think that's really creepy and I don't think she's that creepy. Then, while admiring him, she noticed a girl talking to him and showing signs of liking him. Seeing this filled Ayano with an insane jealousy and rage. She's not normally the type of person to have these feelings, but these new feelings absorbed her and she devised a plan to eliminate her rival. I imagine this part as sort of a tutorial rival, where Ayano puts a note in the girl's locker to meet somewhere, grabs a knife from the kitchen, and
can guess what happens next.
Poor girl.
And this is Ayano's redesign done. I hope you like it. I think her eyes are a little bit scary, but I honestly don't really want to go through the effort of adjusting the layers, so I'm sorry. But hey, here's a bloody version for your troubles.
And last but not least, Info Chan. She's definitely changed the most in my narrative. First of all, I gave her an actual name, which is Yukari Tsunasu, because, like with Taro, I thought it would be fun for her to be related to someone from 1980s mode who was also an obstacle to Ryoba, aka Ayano's mom. This person being Ui Tsunasu, and yes, I do know that her name is like that because it sounds like witness, like Ui Tsunasu, and just taking the last name doesn't really translate that joke, but I still like it, so I'm keeping it. I changed her from being someone just stuck in her chair upstairs all day to someone who actually wanders around the school, and she is constantly monitoring everyone and knows everyone's secrets somehow, including Ayano's secrets. Another change in my narrative is she's a lot less of just a helper out of nowhere. As I said, I imagined that Ayano had some sort of tutorial rival, like in the actual game 1980s mode, and she eliminated her, and she thought she hid all the evidence, but she failed to notice that Yukari was watching, and she snapped a photo of her actively committing the crime. And the next day, she confronted Ayano about it, but didn't want to report her to the police just because. So she made a deal with her. She said that if Ayano did tasks for her, she would keep the photo to herself, and nobody would suspect Ayano for anything. Ayano had no choice but to agree, and because of her quick reply, Yukari also agreed that if Ayano did extra tasks for her, she would earn points for Yukari to do something for her, back. And this is how I changed her actual payment method because I hated her actual part so much. Also, you may be thinking, why doesn't Ayano just kill Yukari to avoid the blackmail? And I thought of maybe she has someone in her life that she is told to publicly release everything on her phone if anything happens to her, and that person doesn't go to the school, so Ayano can't eliminate both of them. But yeah, that's my final Yukari Tsunasu, formerly known as Info Chan, redesign. I hope you really like her, and she's probably my favorite of the entire cast I did today. And here's all 3 designs from today together. I really like what I came up with today. I also had a lot of fun coming up with the story changes, and I already have some story changes in mind for the rivals, so I definitely will be back for making more videos about this. But speaking of making more videos, I'm really focused on my project right now that I have going on in the background, which is almost ready to be announced. So that's going to be taking up most of my time, but I am going to try to get at least 1 video a month for you guys, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but I promise I'm going to try to make them worth it. But until then, stay smiling. Bye bye.